They call my eye like the St. Louis eye. And I don't know if it's from my branding background, but the eye that I create is uniquely mine. If you look closely, there's actually a smiley face within the eye. And the thing I love about it is how it wakes things up for real. You know, I can add 2 little eyeball stickers to a fire hydrant. And instead of it just being some fire hydrant, now it's just like a little dude there looking at you. I was always making stuff as a kid, not just art. You know, I used to make music and I played guitar growing up. I always thought I'd be in a rock band and be a rock star one day. And in high school, I was in a ska band by the name of Cucumber Jones. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, go! My art teacher, Marilyn Bradley, really loved our album artwork. So she encouraged me to go to a summer art program in Brooklyn, New York. So I got to go up there and for the first time see a truly diverse culture of people. While I was in New York, I saw the work of this artist by the name of Keith Haring. And he would go down into the subways and create these almost aboriginal images of people. And it was true street art. After I went to Pratt Institute, I was really involved in the raver scene. And I did a lot of rave flyers for parties. And that led me to a job in Chicago where a party promoter started doing promotions for Camel cigarettes. But eventually, while I was in that mix in Chicago, I had a baby. And that really changed my life. So while in St. Louis for Thanksgiving one year, I discovered South St. Louis. And I just absolutely love the diversity of people there. It kind of had this urban vibe and houses that were $100,000. So my wife and I, and newborn at that time, moved back to St. Louis. I took a job at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch as a web designer. But every night, I would stay up late and work on art. So it was kind of a really cool point in my life where I got to explore this new form of art called stenciling. And I started making these time-lapse videos. It started out with an electrical box of my son. It was actually based off a photo. I almost cried thinking about it, but it was like his first cry. He was like, ah, you know, like screaming, coming out to the world. And that's what I painted. And I did a time-lapse video. Well, this new website came out called YouTube, and I posted it to YouTube. By the end of the week, I had 5,000 hits, and a light bulb went off. So I started creating more of these. I would actually become these characters. I dressed up like a cat. I did a series of dead fat comedians, and I dressed up as Oliver Hardy. And I was getting known for kind of live painting on the web as the characters. Got a phone call from Mirrorball in New York, and they said, "We love your work. Would you like to do a Mountain Dew bottle?" And I almost thought it was kind of a joke, you know. I was like, wow, where'd you see my work? Oh, we saw it on YouTube. So they set up a limited edition 6-pack. They invited 6 artists from around the country to create a limited edition bottle, and I was one of those artists. So this one was based off of their old hillbilly character. And I dressed up like the hillbilly. We built a little boat, floated on the riverfront, landed at the St. Louis graffiti wall, and I tagged up basically what was on the Mountain Dew bottle. After the Mountain Dew gig, I painted a pattern of eyes on this 1963 Iconoline. And I mean, little did I know that it was gonna start this birth of eyes. Like, I never had that intention of being like, oh, I'm gonna start putting eyes on the street. Kids come up to me all the time like, oh, I saw an eye here, I saw an eye here, and you know, it makes me think of Keith Haring and how I looked up to him, you know? And I feel like, again, art should never be made just to make money. Yes, I am supporting my family, barely sometimes, with my art, but in a way too, I'm able to give back by inspiring others. I see a great future for St. Louis, and I feel like we're at the beginning of a renaissance. You see places like Cherokee Street, where I had my studio for years, now a blossoming neighborhood. Here at 2222 South Jefferson, I've seen so much growth, and I know St. Louis is on the pinnacle of something amazing, and I know I'm gonna be a part of that.